Hey, a rapid fire question. Put the answer in the chat. What's your favorite food? Okay. I can promise you that if you ever come to my house, I can make you hate that food.
Thousands of international. Why does American food just hit different? Thousands of international tourists are coming for the World Cup, but staying for the food. But what is it about the food that makes it so gosh darn irresistible? Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory, the show whose goal is to provide you with the best food content in the world! And if you couldn't tell, your boy is absolutely stoked on the World Cup right now. Not just because Messi continues to stave off Father Time, and I hope he's continued to do so by the time the episode comes out, or because it's the greatest event in the world, but because this year, one of the host countries is the US. This is the first time I'm actively living in the host country during the World Cup, and the energy is on a whole nother level. Now, it's hard to go into this episode without addressing the elephant in the room. So let me just super quickly be real for a moment and say, I get it. The US has had a lot of problems as of late. Like a lot of problems, okay? A lot. Too many to count, one might say. But the thing I love most about soccer and the World Cup is that every 4 years, we set aside all of that nastiness. And in its place, we get a month of unity and healthy patriotism and the most pure footy you can imagine. However, while this year I was expecting glorious goals, thrilling upsets, and Messi being Messi, and I hope he's continued to do so by the time this episode comes out, what I did not expect was there to be such a big chatter online about the food. I can't go more than 2 swipes on social media without seeing stories of tourists from around the world.
I ain't gonna lie. I think some of them they exaggerating. Honestly, I think some of them they exaggerating, and then some of them, bro. Let's keep it a bean, bro. I seen food from other places, bro. They cook like how white folks cook over here, but like a little worse. I ain't gonna lie, a little worse. Cause some white folks they didn't you feel me? They know how to put that joint together. England, of course, they happy as hell over here. You see they food? Come on, gang. Finland, you see they food, gang. Switzerland, come on, bro. Come on, brother. Only valid food over there is Italy, but they put some more seasoning on that joint. Even them, they don't be putting seasoning in there for real. I bet it tastes like cheese. I gotta get to the crib, throw some more seasoning on my food. Should just taste like cheese on full grade.
World visiting the US for the World Cup and being absolutely blown away by the food. One German influencer described Taco Bell as the Holy Land, and I can't wholly disagree. He also said lives were
But they holy hole was booming that night. They holy hole was a booming that night. I would know. I was in there after they was done. Told her not to wipe. I don't want to wipe for ya.
changed after trying Raising Cane's for the first time. Yeah, and I kinda disagree there. But a Scottish influencer shared similar biblical allegories, claiming he found the promised land at his hotel breakfast. And after trying some Carolina barbecue ribs, remarked that other meat is just ruined for him now. In fact, the Scots were having a barbecue rib.
I ain't gonna lie, this look valid. Something about a waffle. Something about a waffle, man. They be look good. They be look good too. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, I ain't gonna lie.
Marked that other meat is just ruined for him now. In fact, the Scots were having such a good time that Boston ran short on beer. Friggin' Boston! And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I've seen videos of Brits trying IHOP, Japanese patrons dining on Southern comfort food, or Swedes discovering the wonders of ranch dressing. In fact, these tourists are so desperate to smuggle ranch back into their carry-ons that the TSA had to send out a passive-aggressive tweet telling them to stop. Kraft even made these TSA-safe packets, and no notes.
Damn, for real, them boys out here making cheese. Jesus. That's muy inteligente. That's muy inteligente. And like most of the stuff like that being the food in the US is banned in like them other countries. But my thing is, they be hating on the net. They be hating on the net, but when they get over here, they start feasting. Now they know why niggas is fat. Now they know why niggas is fat. Come on, gang. They know why niggas is fat. I personally think the food is mid. I ain't gonna lie. Some stuff be rocking though. The waffles, some of the chicken, most of the chicken. What else be rocking? Spaghetti be rocking. Most of the stuff though that I be eating, I be really rocking, be my mom's food for real though. I ain't gonna lie.
And don't get me wrong, I know that America has some pretty dope-ass food. I mean, I'm here, aren't I? But I guess I always took for granted just how good
Is he
American
really
food
here,
can
though?
be. Like, we all know the memes, American food is too sweet, too fatty, too red 40. But clearly there's some special sauce, yeah, and I'm not just talking about ranch, that makes American food just hit different. So today, we're going from sea to shining sea, over the amber waves of grain, to
You're going
figure
from
out
state
what
to
it
state.
is about
You come to the
American
state,
food that's
you
giving
might
all
get
these World
touched.
Cup
Touch 'em.
tourists such an out-of-body experience. Of course, the first place that anyone would look when discussing what makes American food special would be one of the
My
things
house?
that makes America special. Our big, beautiful melting pot. You can go to pretty much any city in the US and you'll find Chinese food, Italian food, Mexican, Thai, Yemeni, Ethiopian. If a food culture exists, you'll find it somewhere in the States. And probably somewhere close to you. And you know what else is close to you? A doctor. One that you're probably not going to.
Yeah, you could find damn near any food, but like, is it gonna be good though? That's the problem. Them
Setting up
Brits
internet
might
usually
think it's
takes a
good, but them Brits, they eat beans with anything. Nigga, you shit on beans, they eat that shitty ass beans. Nasty bastards. But my thing is, the food's still mid though. I ain't gonna, some of the food, I ain't gonna lie, some of the food be rocking now. I can't think of none of the food I be rocking right now. But some of the food be rocking though. Do be rocking though.
few days. So I hired a new employee
Aw,
to
fat
help us
bastard.
get emails out.
All right, all set.
He's not even fat for real.
AT&T
Still a
Business
bastard.
Internet is ready to go.
Wait, that's it? Sorry, I'm gonna have to let you go.
It's not you, it's the super fast internet.
She look a little
E3
good,
is
I ain't gonna lie.
Basically freedom. It's a giant open universe where
Immigrant groups aren't just bringing their dishes to the metaphorical table. They're also bringing all those sweet, glorious spices. For example, take oregano. Oregano made its way to the U.S.'s shores around the early 1900s, thanks to Italian and Greek immigrants. But it wouldn't become a universal standard in American kitchens until after World War II, when returning soldiers who had tasted oregano during the Italian campaigns raved about it. And that's just one example. There's Chinese five-spice, turmeric, and coriander from South Asian curry. Heck, even black pepper, one of the default American spices, was
I do
not
love that black
originally
pepper.
native to the New World. And once these new flavors, spices, and heat profiles
where's
reached
black
the
pepper come
American
from?
shores, they started to be mixed and matched, creating entirely new and truly American dishes. And no dish best exemplifies the real melting pot of American food quite like gumbo. Gumbo is a delicious,
I knew he was gonna say
thick
gumbo.
stew that is most commonly associated
I still
with the
never
city of
tried
New
it. I wanna
Orleans.
try that
But
joint, though.
Gumbo
I ain't gonna
wouldn't
lie.
exist if it weren't for the mixing of
Nah, I
cultures
need to
and
try that
ingredients.
joint, I ain't
For
gonna
example,
lie.
gumbo's three main thickeners have all vastly different origins that just so happen to coalesce in the Crescent City to create one of its most iconic dishes. Roux, a mix of fat and flour, was a staple of the huge French population living in the city. The only problem was flour shipped all the way from Europe tended to spoil quickly, so other thickeners had to be added in order to give gumbo that thickness. Filet powder made from ground sassafras leaves had been foraged by the native Choctaw people for centuries. Meanwhile, okra, a must for gumbo, originally came from West Africa and was brought
Is
to
gumbo
America
really
as
that thick? Cause I ain't gonna lie, I hate thick food. Ugh. I don't know. I hate when the food, like, I hate when the sauce of my food has weight on it. Like, I don't like that. And then thick food be kind of jello-y too. I hate jello-y food, brother. I hate jello too. Keeping it a buck. I don't hate jello, but I won't eat jello for real. I ain't gonna lie. I hope it ain't. I hope it's liquidy. I hope he don't mean thick like jello-y thick. What do you mean like just like saucy type, like a little thick? 'Cause, you know, niggas be saying thick and it don't be thick. I'm talking about the hoes too. Niggas be saying the hoes be thick. Them hoes don't be thick. Come on, gang. Don't play around with that T word. If you're gonna say thick, if you're gonna say really thick, that baby better be really thick. Nigga, don't play around with that T word. 'Cause in 2026, niggas love playing around with that T word. On God.
a result of the transatlantic slave trade. What, you didn't expect bummers to be in this story? This is American history we're talking about, alright? But regardless, all three of these ingredients from different corners of the globe were able to come together and make a dish that's uniquely multicultural. And because America is so non-homogeneous, these sorts of regional dishes with their own special quirks are a dime a dozen
Just
across
look
the
at
country.
that.
Just look at the sheer number of variety of things like barbecue, hot dogs, or
Look at
even
that.
pizza.
Ooh,
Chicago
glicks
deep
me,
dish, for
glicks
example.
me,
During the late
glicks me. Oh shoot.
19th and early 20th century, a lot of people from
Nipples.
Naples, Italy immigrated to the Chicagoland area. And with them came their preferred pizza variety, Neapolitan style. That was until 1943 when two American entrepreneurs, Ike Sewell and Richard Ricardo, decided to take the idea of the Neapolitan pizza and quite literally turn it on its head, creating the first ever deep dish pizza. And I know, deep dish is very divisive, but it's just a perfect example of how America can take a cultural dish and Americafy it. Of course, sometimes this
Thickify it.
Americanization ends up turning these dishes into something barely recognizable to the native tasters. I mean, I could do a whole episode on how the stuff we consider Chinese food is so foreign to people living in China that it's laughable. Let me know if you'd want to see that in the comments, because I would love to talk about it. But of course, if we're going to talk about the Americanification of food, we have to talk about how every last bite here is optimized for maximum tastiness, leading to the heavenly reactions we've seen from our World Cup tourists. And the reason why comes down to choice. Americans are absolutely
Just look how the
spoiled for
meat
choices
looks.
when it comes
Just-
to
just
food.
look how
I
that
mean,
junk
have you
look.
ever been to a Walmart before?
Just
It's a
wanna
wonder
lick it.
any of us can walk out of an aisle without our heads exploding from decision fatigue. Take Captain Crunch as just one example. We have like a half dozen different varieties of just Captain. You want regular Captain Crunch? We got that. You want Captain Crunch with a little bit of crunch berries? We got that too. And if you're feeling particularly spicy, we can just give you an entire box of crunch berries and pretend it was an industrial accident. Objectively, the best industrial accident you can have happen, but point is, Americans are overflowing with options. But that presents a problem for all of our restaurants and brands. If customers have literally thousands of possible things they could eat, how do you make them
Not
choose
valid.
your
This
product?
whole rule is not
Enter
valid.
The Holy Trinity. What is the Holy
This
Trinity?
whole middle
you
rule
ask?
is not
Well,
valid.
long ago, in the fires of Mount Doom, 3 tastes were forged in secret that could turn any meal into a delectable morsel. They were called
Let me guess what it is. Salt, pepper, and MSG. If not MSG, then salt, pepper, and oregano. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with.
salt, fat, and sugar. Together, they
Huh?
were known as
Sugar.
the holy trinity of
Sugar?
hyperpalatability. Anyway, we all know that if you make your food saltier,
Yeah, I was not
fattier,
close
or
at all.
sweeter, it's gonna taste better. It's practically a cheat code. And it works so well because we're sort of evolutionarily wired to love these tastes. Salt helps regulate fluid balance in our body. Fat is a component of our cell membranes, and sugar is a source of energy. Having access to these nutrients was critical to our survival. So our bodies end up rewarding us for finding these flavors by giving us that mouthfeel that the characters get in Food Wars. Whoa, no, that's a bad editor. You know we can't show that on here. Now, if you're, say, a chip manufacturer and you want your chip to stand out among the hordes of other potato products, you're gonna have to do everything you can to maximize the salt, sweet, and fattiness of your product. In fact, food scientists have a word for this. It's called the bliss point, the perfect balance of the holy trinity where you take a bite and think, oh my god, this chip is literally crack. And you'd be right. And the brands that don't maximize for this bliss point, they get
Oh no, I don't think they've been doing that lately. Cause chips been downhill for me. Chips been down. I don't know. I used to love purple Doritos. Can't stand them no more. Can't stand the blue ones either. Can barely stand the my fault. Can't stand the red ones either. Can barely stand the blue ones. Used to love Lay's. I ain't gonna lie. I could barely stand Lay's. I could do some Lay's, but I can't do a whole bag of Lay's. Unless it's the barbecue one. Barbecue Lay's is the only thing that I still love. Only chips that I still love. The rest of them can go to hell. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just garbage. Straight garbage.
get left in the dust, leading to an arms race that makes American food sweeter, fattier, saltier, but also tastier. Whether you're a big food brand, a fast food chain, or just your local pizzeria, the ultimate goal is to make your food as broadly appealing as possible. It's probably also the reason why American food has a reputation for being on the bland side. The more exotic flavors you add, the less broadly appealing it is. It's why overseas you see such cool chip flavors or limited edition items at fast food restaurants, but here in the US, we get the same old, same old. But it's absolutely not the same old to the World Cup tourists who are experiencing Southern barbecue or their smuggled tubs of ranch for the first time. However, if this was a game of Family Feud and Steve Harvey asked you what makes American food hit different, our melting pot and our frankly unhealthy relationship with salt and fat would probably have been the first answers on the board, but they wouldn't be the top one. There is actually something else that our World Cup watchers have come out and said has been the most shocking thing about their American food experience. experience, the hospitality. Here's the thing. If American dining has one
them
reputation,
boys want
it's
them
that our
tips.
portion sizes are absolutely massive. From full racks of barbecue ribs, portion sizes are absolutely
What store this is? Hell no, it's not real. Nah, this was for the photo. They was for the photo. They're the only ones that ever got this big bastard. That's what you gonna call this goddamn sandwich, the big bastard. You better put more ketchup than there is in that goddamn store in that joint. That joint big as hell. That joint big as hell. That joint go from right here to like right here on my right here on my body on full grave. Strictly from like right here to like right here on my body on full grave.
massive. From full racks of barbecue ribs to slices of pizza bigger than a toddler. And that's not just our imagination either. Studies have shown that portion sizes at US restaurants can be somewhere between 25 and 72% larger than their European counterparts. And that's probably not even taking into account Texas, where everything there
It's
is
bigger.
25 to 72% larger than
Jesus.
everywhere else in the country. So why are
How
the
they do that,
portions
though?
so big? Well,
They be
part of
inflating
it
meat.
comes down to getting the most bang for our buck. Americans value, value. And so restaurants erring on the side of caution would prefer to give you more food than they think you can eat. In turn, this makes you feel like you're being treated like a guest in someone's home. And if you can't finish everything off on your massive plate, no problem, sugar. Just grab yourself a box. The United States has a very well-established leftover culture. While getting your din din to go isn't unheard of in other parts of the world, it's practically second nature in the US. Around 91% of American restaurant goers admit that they take home restaurant leftovers on occasion, with nearly a third doing so regularly. So the larger portions aren't an inconvenience, they're a bonus. And speaking of bonus, you know what else you get when you visit a US restaurant? Free refills,
Oh, yeah.
baby.
Them do be
At least for
valid.
now. That's been going away more and more lately,
Yeah, it do
and
be
that's
going
just
away.
anti-American. But again, similar to take-home containers, while free refills aren't a unique American experience, Americans have come to expect free refills, especially fountain drinks, as a given. And mathematically speaking, they're not wrong to demand it. On average, a single 32-ounce fountain drink you might get alongside your meal at a restaurant might cost you around $2.50. But for the restaurant, oh boy, they're robbing you blind. Blind, I say! The cost for the syrup used to make that Coca-Cola only cost the restaurant about 15 cents.
No way.
It's 1938.
them boys.
The 2-week pay period.
Them
is
boys know how to make a profit.
But then
Those soda fountains
Them
might as well
boys
be
know how to
ATMs
make a
for the
profit.
restaurant. So yeah, if I want a second or 12th helping, I'ma get it. Again, it gives customers a sense of value. And you know what else I'm gonna get with my meal? Some
But one person
motherheckin'
pays for
free
7
bread.
of those Johns.
On more occasions than I care to admit, I've gone to Texas Roadhouse just because I got a hankering for some of those dinner rolls. I don't even like the cinnamon butter that much. Sue me. But regardless, it's always free of charge. And that bread doesn't just limit hangry customers, there's also some evidence that it actually increases appetite and leads to bigger tips. So more bread means more bread. But in all honesty, I've never really given the free
Do
bread
love
at
that bread.
restaurants much of a thought, which is why when I saw that one of the Japanese soccer fans posted on Twitter about his experience with free chips and salsa, I'll admit, it kind of brought a tear to my eye. Chips, salsa, unrequested, free. I stopped the waiter. We have not earned these. They just come with the table, man. I ate with the gravity the moment deserved. They have wells of salsa. The supply
That boy felt motivational getting that free chip and salsa, cuz he started getting poetic with it. But what that he was Kendrick Lamar. Free chips and the salsa. The salsa. I did not deserve it. But I put it in my mouth. It tasted like penis. 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 Penis.
guidelines of this nation
Free chips
are
and
not
salsa.
anything my ancestors imagined. The whole tweet goes incredibly hard. Bro, I want chips, salsa, unrequested, free, tattooed on my friggin' stomach, Tupac style. But he's not wrong. The bottomless wells of salsa, the free Coke refills, they really are a gift. Something you get not for being a good customer, but for just being a customer. And that's something I really wouldn't have thought about if it weren't for these incredible fans trekking all the way here for the
Alright, that's cool. I love food. I mainly put this video on because I love food and I'm hungry and I wanted to look at food. It didn't help at all with my hunger. Dingo. Oh. Knock, knock. I'm assuming you said who's there. Chicken and waffles. I'm assuming you said chicken and waffles.